Memory. Good and bad memories. I have an awful bad memory. I cannot remember anything. How often one has to listen to such expressions stated in perfect sincerity. It comes as a startling fact to such a person if you tell him that there is no such thing as an absolutely bad memory. Yet, this is so. There is hardly a man or woman but possesses a good memory for a certain class of facts. The woman who cannot remember anything will keep you, if you are foolish enough, listening in your office for hours to a recital of her domestic woes and worries. A man of similar type will astonish you with a category of all the ills that beset a businessman. Working men with no memory are often walking encyclopedias of sporting details. Schoolboys who cannot learn their lessons can often tell you the names and characteristics of all the leading footballers or baseball players. The writer need not prolong such examples, for we are all familiar with them. It is interesting, however, to analyze this seeming paradox. People with a memory that remembers nothing, and yet are able to talk for hours on a subject in which they are interested. What is this explanation? I have just given it. These people are interested in the subjects they talk about. But after all, this is only a partial explanation. The fundamental reason is that these people are constantly going over these matters in their minds. Repetition and interest. There you have the explanation of the paradox. The lesson for you to take from the above is this. Put down on paper the department in which your memory is good. That is, the class of facts you can remember with ease. Next, put down the departments in which you say you are weak. Let us call the first department Class A and the others Class B. Put down on your paper the time you give each day to Class A, the frequency with which you draw upon its facts, either by going over them or telling them to others. State also your degree of interest. Now do the same with Class B and compare results. Is it any wonder Class B is defective? The fact is, we all have better memories than we think we have. Further, we all act in some class of facts in harmony with the fundamental laws which regulate memory. The trouble is that we do this unconsciously, that is, in ignorance of these laws. It is the purpose of the writer to make these laws clear to you. Their application will then rest with you. What is meant by memory? Memory has been defined as the power to recall prior experiences. This involves the theory of retention. But memory means more than retention and the power to recall an experience, for the memory of things often comes to one unasked. You do not seek to recall them. It is better, therefore, to look at memory as both active and passive. In the former, recall is a conscious, determinate act. In the latter, association tracts in the brain, under stimulation, bring without your asking or seeking the past once more into consciousness. Memory is, therefore, seen to be to some extent dependent upon will, and to some extent independent of will. Memory has two further aspects, the physical, bodily, and the psychical, mental. On the physical side, we have retention, the theory that prior experiences produce residual dispositions which determine subsequent experiences. And on the psychical side, we have to consider the factors that aid retention and so enable us to bring back former experiences to mind. It is well for the student to understand that memory is not a faculty, that is, a distinct localization of brain area. Memory is really a complex of faculties. We have not a memory, but memories, as distinct as our several needs. In other words, there are as many memories as there are classes of things to remember. Native retentiveness. Why is it that some people have much better memories than others? Training and varied interests partially explain these differences, but the principal reason is congenital. All are born with a certain capacity for retention, and therefore it is easier, much easier, for some people to retain what they see or hear, for instance, than it is for others. This native retentiveness, so far as our present knowledge goes, cannot be improved by any training. We have no grounds for saying that this will always be so, but there is no system of training at present known that can increase one's native retentiveness. It is well for students to recognize this. The system of memory training that offers you a perfect memory is offering you something unknown to psychologists. It is offering you something that is not in harmony with our present knowledge of psychology. All that you can do with your natural power of retention is to see that you use it to its full capacity.